Shalom. It's your brother Mawasar,
It's the brother Shema with all.
So, brother,
brother, right? And today, as you see in the title, we're going into the Lord is a man of war. He is not this. Don't get me wrong. Look, I'm gonna get a precept, right? Let's just kick it off with a precept. It's Sirach chapter 16, and verse number 12. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth the man according to his works. So they like to tell us all the time in the world that, oh, kumbaya, it's this guy that just love everybody, but just as equal as he can give you this so-called hug, he can give you that same spanking that a father is supposed to get a son too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we got to understand. There is a side of the Lord that, hey, he don't mind going to war. Right? We coming into the Passover. Hey, around the time of Passover, it was time to go to war. We came out, we had to fight Amalek. Egypt was chasing us down. It wasn't no time of hugs and kisses. Right? There's a time for everything, even a time for war. And I'm about to get that in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And then brothers got it. All right, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse number 8. I'm gonna start at verse number 1. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. That includes everything. It's a time for every single thing. Right? Let's jump down to verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. They tell us, oh, you can't hate that's certain people in the Bible. We didn't write this. Right? Let's keep going. A time of war and a time of peace. It's always the time for war. This is not the time of peace. You see what's going on in the earth. Hey, today Trump just put the taxes on everybody today. Put them tariffs on everybody. Got the stock market going all crazy. It's called a trade war. It's different levels of war. It ain't always violent. Just like when Paul said in Second Corinthians, hey, the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. It's spiritual wars too. War is always going to be on the earth. It is what it is. It has been since the beginning. It's going to be at the end. The book of Revelation speaks on wars and rumors of wars and all of that stuff. Right? Well, brothers got it.
come. Like, like the brother was saying, right? Everything in this life is war, especially for the Israelites, right? And the Lord told us these things, right? This is the book of St. John, chapter 16. I start at verse 33. It reads, "These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace." Right? So when we in this word, when we doing what we got to do, when we feeding our spirits with the words of God, guess what? We have peace, right? But what this is what the Lord said: "In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world." Right? So we gotta remind ourselves that in this world we're gonna have tribulation, we're gonna have turmoil, we're gonna go through things like our forefathers did. Right? No righteous man in the Bible was just untouched. Right? Everybody in the scriptures that you read about had some sort of uh war, some sort of you know, just all type of madness, all hell breaking loose in their life to where they had to call upon the name of the Lord. Right? And that's the same mindset that we gotta have. Right? This is first Peter chapter 5. I'll start at verse 8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil as a slack it for your slack it. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil as a roaring lion walketh about seeking whom he may devour." Right? So hey, Satan, he on the clock. Satan is always seeking whom he can devour. Right? So if we're not being steadfast, if we don't have the mindset, like it says in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 3, right, endure good hardness as a good soldier, right, we're gonna be overthrown by the spiritual demon Satan. Right? Brothers got it.
Con, that's right, man. Hey, that's why the Lord said, be watchful. Right, let's get that. That's why the Lord said, be watchful. Right, always be on watch. Don't go to sleep. Cause soon as you go to sleep, that thief come at night. Now your house getting broken into. Now you don't know where your weapons at, cause he took everything. right? Right. This Revelation chapter 3, verse 2, it says, be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before Yahweh. That's why the Lord said, be watchful, because whatever you're not strengthening, your enemies know that, right? The spiritual demon Satan knows that, and he will devour you. That's why I said be sober and be vigilant, right? The Lord saying is be watchful, right? And people like to say they don't like to read the Old Testament because it's a lot of killing. See that, God, it's a lot of killing in the Bible. What you mean? It's not just killing in the Bible. There's mercy, forgiveness, compassion. What are you reading? Right? But the Lord, hey, he does kill. Because how many times he told you not to do something, you did it. You know, and there's other things, it's something that you shouldn't be doing. Hey, he may have to take your spirit away from you. Right? This First Samuel chapter 2, verse 6, it said, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. Hey, so the Lord killed us, man, and made us alive. Right? He killed the old man and raised us up through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, through the spirit. Right? But the Lord killeth, man. You see it throughout all the scriptures. Right? Not just the heathens, but Israelites who didn't want to listen. So the Lord is a man of war. He's not a man of flowers and gifts and nothing but some weird, crazy miracles, as they like to show on these Disney Channel movies and stuff like that, and all these action figures that they make. The Lord is not about that, right? Let me get 1 Peter chapter 2. You knowing that the Lord is a man of war, you knowing that the Most High loves war. I mean, if he made us in the image of him, that means that you should love war too. You know, you should love war too, man. Because without that, what type of man will it be? Soft, no awareness, no discernment. I mean, the Lord is not finna just make. Matter of fact, let me get Sirach. Salakia. Let's get Sirach 33. Because the Lord is he doesn't like a false balance, right? He made good and evil, right? This Sirach chapter 33, verse 13, right? It says, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil, and life against death, right? So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly, right? Hey, it's an old TV show, Charm, right? It was one episode where it was nothing but madness, basically. So it was basically not to get long-winded, but they basically had a wicked spell or whatever, and everything was all good and great, and nobody argued, nobody got into contention, and it was just, I mean, everybody was just all one. But that's not real. It said good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High. There are two and two, one against another. That's war. There's always an opposition. There's always something contrary towards you. If you doing good, there's somebody out there that's doing bad. If you doing good, there's somebody out there that don't like you doing good. That's war, man. You're going to go at it in this truth. And if you think that you come in this truth and think everything is going to be okay, you're going to have a rude awakening, because in the scriptures, the Lord tell you to be watchful, strengthen the things that remain, be vigilant, do not fall asleep, right? Let's get that. And then brothers got it, right? Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 7. Right, I want to straight to the point. Verse 9. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. So if you fall asleep, hey, you might as well call it quits. You're gonna get trodden down, you're gonna get kidnapped, your family they kidnapped, they captives now because you fell asleep, you not being watchful. That's not always you just being, you close your eyes and you in your favorite blanket, you know. So you have to be watchful. So like one more precept through the spirit. I was supposed to bring this out earlier. Right? First Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. And most importantly, you're not just going to war against anybody else. You're going to war with yourself, the flesh. And the Lord did this so you could have the greatest reward that you could ever get. Something you can't imagine. Something you can't even think about as much, right? But brothers got it.
Con. I wanted to get into this. All right. This is Exodus. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Right. A lot of times, this is like the brother said earlier, they don't like to read the Old Testament because it's too graphic and it's too much killing going on and all of these different excuses they got to skip the first half of the Bible, you know. But this is the type of God that created all of us, a type of God that creates war. This is what it is. Like, people have to really understand this is war with your spirit. It's physical wars. Hey, you read all through the Old Testament, especially in Judges, man, Israel was going to war. You know what I'm saying? You read First Kings and First Samuels, and man, we was going to war all of the time. Even before our forefathers, the patriarchs was going to war. Abraham had to go to war. You know? So when it comes to war, hey, it's inevitable. It's something that we cannot avoid. Let me get this in 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and verse number 57. 2nd Ezra 7 and 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Shall fight. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's no, you can't run from it. You can't kind of get out of it. Every man that's born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, it literally says you have to fight if you want to live. You know, it's called survival. You know, let you get caught out there, you know, 3 people run down on you, and you got all your money, all your credit cards and everything. What you gonna do? You out there all by yourself, don't know what's coming, don't know what's coming to you. You got to know how to fight. You got to think. Fighting is not always mental, not always physical. Most of the time, it's mental. A lot of the times, the situations we get ourselves in, where we end up having to fight in a physical way, we should have fought in a mental way in the first place. A lot of times, how did Christ fight Satan when he was fasting in the wilderness? He fought with the scriptures. That's how we got to fight. But a lot of times, what is we taught when we grow up? We taught to use our hands, or we taught to use a gun to fight. You know what I'm saying? We taught to just react instead of sitting back and thinking. When you go to war, you don't just up and send. They didn't just up and send 10,000 men across the country without sitting down and thinking about it first. They got counsel on it, right? Even when you read about David, especially, it's a reason why David didn't lose, because he was calculated. He knew what he was doing. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 17, right? 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verse. This is the David and Goliath story. 1 Samuel chapter 17. Words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed him before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew them. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. He said the armies of the living God. God got armies. A lot of people don't know that. When he said the Lord of hosts, that those hosts means armies. David understood that. Everybody reads Psalms, oh, the Lord is my shepherd. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Hey, in the same Psalms, he's talking about the Lord teaching his hands to war. Let's get that. It's Psalm chapter 144. Then brothers got it. War is inevitable. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to fight in one way or another. Psalms chapter 144 and verse 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. He blessed the Lord for teaching him how to fight. He said, thank you, God, for letting me have hands. You know, you got to kind of break it down to Jake, how they understand it. Thank the Lord that I can throw these hands, that I know I can handle my, you know how Jake get, you walk a little different when you know how to fight. You ain't never necessarily looking for no trouble, but when you know you can handle your, hey, you walk a little different. It's a different kind of confidence. It's the same thing when you can fight spiritually. When you know, man, Satan can't do nothing with me. I just beat him last night. He tried to get me, tried to creep up on me, man. One hitter quitter. I can tell I'm getting stronger. I handled that better than last time. Satan can't touch me.
Right. Kind of going back off what the brother was going into, right? David was a man after the Lord's own heart, right? And David, he was set up to be a man of war. He was set up to lead battles, to overcome enemies, right? There's a reason, like the brother said, why David, he was undefeated, right? Because he trusted in the Most High, right? This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, right? I'm going to start at verse 5. It reads, and David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people. Right, so the whole nation was down with this. Right, if we don't have men of war, how will we protect ourselves? How will you protect your household? How will you protect your brother if you're not armed? Right, it reads, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass as they came, and David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel singing and dancing. So you had the Eves, right? Our sisters, they was singing, they was dancing, right? They was making songs, right? To meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with the instruments of music, right? You kind of got to look at that in the spirit, right? Because once you overthrow those demons, those temptations that you're dealing with, once you overcome them, hey, it's going to be a sense of relief and joy that you have, right? That's why we got to arm ourselves, right? Let me get this, right? And remember, the Lord, he gave us power, right? The Lord gave us authority over these things. You just got to believe, right? This is Luke chapter 10, verse 19, right? Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you, right? Hey, the Lord said nothing shall hurt you, right? There's no man, there's no spirit that can come against you that you can't take down, right? Because the Lord gave you authority. He gave this authority unto his disciples, right? Verse 20, notwithstanding, and this rejoice not, right? The Lord said, don't even worry about that, right? You shouldn't even be rejoicing that you can take down the things that are against you, your adversaries, your enemies. He said, notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you. Right? So these spirits are supposed to be subject unto you. Right? You are a king walking this earth. Right? There's nothing that can come against you that's supposed to take you down. Right? You have power. You have to say so. You have that right. It reads that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Right? We know that our citizenship is in heaven. Right? There's no demons lurking around in the heavens. Right? But the Lord said, hey, your names are written in the heavens. So when you are faced with adversity, you got to remember that the Lord, he gave you power to tread these things down. Right? Nothing is too hard for you. Right? Can we do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthen us? Right? And strength comes from heaven. Right? Let me get that precept real fast. Right? First Maccabees. Right? I think that's chapter 3 and verse. It's like, yeah. Well, chapter 3 and let me see, it's like, yeah, bear with me. I'll start at verse 17, right? This is First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 17. It says, who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how will we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day? Right? So, hey, you might have a legion of demons approaching you. You might be dealing with childhood trauma. You might be dealing with things in the past that are just now coming up to you. Right? Situations that happened 10 plus years ago, 5 plus years ago, right? Last night, right? It reads, stuck it. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the God of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or small company. Right? So it's all up to the Most High at the end of the day, whether you're going to get past that, whether you're going to be subject unto those things, right? It's all in the hand of the Most High, right? Verse 19, right? This is the point. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host, but strength coming from heaven, right? And we got to remember that, right? The Most High, he's the one, by Hashem Yahushai, is giving us this power to be able to tread over the enemies, over scorpions, over the adversary. Anything that brothers is going through, right? Just know that you can get past it if you believe, right? There's nothing that is too hard that you can't that you can't overcome, right? These men, it was a multitude that came out against them, right? But with that, you.
God, yeah, the brother bringing it Almighty, man. It's the Lord who fights for you. You know, it's not of yourself. You know what I like to say, you know, 99%, well, 100% is, you know, your confidence is towards the Lord. But you got that 10%, that 1% is for you to even have that faith and to know that, look, I can tear down this lust demon. I could tear down this drinking demon. You know what? I'm dealing with trauma. If I get in that situation, I know how to handle it according to the precepts, right? And our forefathers had understanding of that. They didn't have all these. They didn't have all these precepts. Joseph didn't have that. As them, you know, what's his name? I don't want to butcher his name, but you know, the king's wife, them coming to him day by day, right? He had faith in the Lord that he can deal with that. Right. Come on, brothers can hear that, Salakia. Right. He had faith that he can you know, beat that temptation, man. Right. So let me go to verse. I'm gonna go to Exodus 14 and verse 14. It says, the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Right. There is no way if you in battle, you should be frantic or having anxiety and The spirit of fear. Hey, the Lord didn't put the spirit. The Lord didn't put the spirit of fear on us. That shouldn't exist. You know, that's nothing but the flesh of the world, right? And our forefathers noticed that the Lord will fight for us, right? The holy angels on the left hand, on the right hand side. Then you got demons on the left hand side that's trying to fight against you. But hey, they would not overcome. All right. So I'm gonna get Genesis chapter 32. All right. Let's see what Jacob wrestled a whole angel. I mean, we come from forefathers that battled and prevailed. We have a forefather, that name was changed to Israel, right? Wrestled an angel. I mean, how great is that? No, brothers may forget about that. You keep falling to the same demon, or you keep just being in the same situation over and over and over. And you forget that, hey, Jacob, once he came into a situation, hey, he demolished it through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? This Genesis chapter 32, verse 24, it says, Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. Hey, it's war, man, until the breaking of the day. And we have that situation too. We wrestling a demon all night. From whatever to 5 p.m. till it's damn the fourth watch. It's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. This is what's going on with Jacob. No temptation is common unto man. Right? See that? Right? We're just gonna get to that through the spirit, right? But reading on, it says, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And you got to think about it too. He by himself. Once you by yourself, you're not around brothers. Because when you around your brothers, these demons, they like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna lay low. But you keep watch because they waiting for you to be alone. Once you get alone, you're gonna be dealing with the same thing as Jacob, man. Fighting to the breaking of the day, right? Read on, and when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And they gonna fight dirty, man. They gonna fight dirty. But in a fight, there's no rules. So you may say, he damn, you know, you going through it, you beating the lust demon, whatever demon that you deal with. Next thing you know, your wife get plagued. Your wife is sick. Hey, you gotta fight, man. What you touching my wife for? Hey, but that's war, man. You gotta fight. You gotta deal with it. Ultimately, the Lord is seeing what's going on, and you having faith, and you will win, right? Through the spirit of the Lord. Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. Hey, this is Jacob, man. He said, I'm not letting you go, man. I'm not finna lose this battle. That's what you got to say to yourself. I'm not finna lose, man. I got you. How about Shem Yahweh watching me? The angels taking account of everything. It's either now or never, man. Right? I'm gonna just jump down to verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. Realizing that we have a forefather that wrestled an angel and was able to prevail, man, and end up getting a blessing and getting the name Israel and to his seed line forever. I mean, how mighty is that, man? So you got to continue to fight and realize these accounts. You got Abraham, mighty forefather. Let's bring that out. Genesis 14, because he was armed for war, right? He was armed for war. His servants was armed for war, right? This Genesis 14 and verse 13, right? And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, right? Born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. When he found out his brother was Lot was taken captive, his brother's son, his nephew, hey, he heard about it. He said, you know, hey, He got his servants armed up. He's armed up. Hey, and they pursued them until Dan, man. And this how you gotta be. You can't just be letting demons all in your house. You can't just be letting a brother just say anything about the Lord. You can't just let anything just slide that easy, man. Soon as you get tempted, you just that's it, man. It's too strong, man. I've been dealing with this since a kid. Brother, you didn't even know how to fight when you was a kid. Now the Lord give you mercy and grace and be able to teach you how to war like he did David. Hey, you got an opportunity to slay that demon, man. Right? Verse 15, and he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them and pursued them unto Ahoba, right? Which is on the left hand of Damascus, right? Hey, he smote them, man. A slaughter, a blowout, right? Right, just like the brother was saying, be like Yahweh Shai and cast them unclean spirits into the swine, man. You got to be like that. If Yahweh Shai done it, what makes you think we can't? We have power through him, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Right? One more precept through the spirit. I don't want to escape my mind, right? So, and then brothers got it right. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 12. It says, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and has professed a good profession before many witnesses. Right? It says, fight the good fight of faith, man. How are you fighting a good fight and you just falling? You just saying, hey, man, Satan getting the best of me. No, you get the best of Satan, man. Right? Why are you getting Satan so much credit? Why are you giving your flesh so much credit? Right? Man, I'm gonna read that again. It says, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life. If you just giving in, right? Hey, the Lord sees that, man. Yes, we all fall short, but the Lord sees that. The Lord knows if you doing things willfully, you just giving up in the heat of the moment. Damn, you ain't got no timeouts left. You down by one. It's a lot of time on the clock, and you just, you know what? We can't do it. We can't do it, brother. Don't nobody want you on the. We don't want you on the squad, man. You saying stuff like that. We ain't gonna do it, man. We ain't got no timeouts. Look at him, bro. 6'8", 260. He running like a horse, man. Bro, ain't nobody dealing with. That's really what you saying to Satan. You saying he too powerful for you. You saying your flesh is too powerful for you. You don't have no rule over your spirit, man. You're not holding on eternal life by just giving up, right? That's why the Lord said, many are called, but few are chosen. But you got to. You got some good day one.
Come, right? Like the brother was going into, right? You don't want to give in to the spirits, right? You don't want like the brother was saying, it's 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and you just, right, I don't want to take the shot, or we might as well throw in the towel right now, right? Brother, I mean, they too tall, they too strong, they faster than us, right? You don't want to have that mentality, right? This Ephesians, right, chapter 6, I'll start at verse 13, right? I mean, really, we could start at verse 10, but I'm going to read this first. It reads, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Right? You want to make sure you do everything you can to stand in that day. Right? We know that a just man, he falls, he gets back up. But you don't want to use that as an excuse to not doing everything that you can do to stand. Right? Let me go to Nehemiah. Right? I want to get this, chapter 4 and verse 17. It reads, they which build it on the wall, and they that bear burdens with those that laden, every one with one of his hands wrought in a work. right? So you might be in this truth, right? You might be, working a 9 to 5. It's some brothers I know that's working 12 plus 14-hour shifts, right? You might be burdened with the cares of this life, right? But let's read on. It says, and with the other, Slakia, I'm gonna read that again. It says, everyone with one of his hands wrought in a work, and with the other hand held a weapon. Verse 18, for the builders, everyone had his sword girded by his side, and so builded. Right? So, hey, the builders, they had their sword girded on their side. Right? And we're builders. Right? We're upon our foundation, right? Which is this truth. Right? But when we're building, right, we're putting in that brick, right? We doing the work, or we're going out on the Sabbath days, on the highways and byways, teaching our people. Guess what? Right? You're girded, right? And you might be burdened, right? You might have some brothers that I know, hey, they gotta drive hours to go to work, right? Hours back, right? They might be burdened, right? But hey, they still gotta fight. They still gotta have that fight, right? Let me go to Romans chapter 9. It's like Romans chapter 8 and verse 36. It says, as it is written, for thy sakes we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Right? Hey, we're conquerors. Right? Once you're girded in this thing, once you have these precepts, guess what? You're going to be able to conquer. You're going to be able to tread down. You're going to have that confidence. You're going to have everything that you need in order to fight against these spiritual demons. Right? It don't even gotta be lust all the time, right? It could be, slothfulness, right? It could be, not being diligent, right? Anything to hinder you from being on fire, you literally can tread down, right? It says, verse 38, for I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? There's nothing that can separate us from this truth. Right? There's nothing that can separate you from these words right here. Right? Everything in here is written for you. It's written for your learning. Right? So everything that our forefathers went through, when we read, we're supposed to look at that and say, okay, this is how they move. Right? Okay, this is how I got to go about this situation. Right? And you got to realize that nothing can separate us from this. Right? Our forefathers, hey, we cut from the same cloth. Like the brother was saying, hey, they was warriors. Right? They were rulers. They were kings. They were princes. Right? And we cut from that same cloth. We are our forefathers. Right? So we gotta realize when we go out and teach, right? We teaching salvation. We preaching the gospel, but we also we bringing up these accounts. We telling them how mighty they were, right? When you in these school systems, they tell you, okay, slavery, right? 1492, right? You were a slave, you were in huts, right? And we saved you. The white man, right? He came, he saved us, right? No, right? We have more than just being slaves, right? We're conquerors, right? We can overcome these things. We're not just some guys with sticks in a hut, in mud huts. Right? That's madness. Right? This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 21. It says, to him that overcometh. Right? So you got to overcome. It's no option. Right? The Lord is not giving you can't be lukewarm. Right? It says, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. Hey, no, Lord, he had to overcome. Right? What if the Lord had the mentality of, oh, I can't do this. Right? I don't know if I can walk on water. I don't know if I can feed this large multitude. Right? I don't know if I can ascend up to heaven. No. right? The Lord, he overcome, and we got to have that same mindset too, right? Brothers got it.
Yeah, I think his signal like messing up. I'm gonna get in there though. Yeah, all praises, man. Hey, it was the mighty point that he said, what if Yahweh Shah just, I can't walk on water. I can't feed these 5,000 people, separated them by 50s. I can't do these things. You know what? I can't get on that cross. I can't bear this cross. Yeah, that's off. And we wouldn't even be here today. Right? See that? Let's get First Peter chapter 4, verse 1. So we gotta have the same mind as Yahweh Shah, right? It says, for as much then as Hamashiach have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. You got to arm yourself likewise with the same mind as Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah, if you knew you was going to die, you would be focused. If you knew the exact date, time, age you was going to pass away, you will be a mighty brother, man, or mighty sister. All right, you'll be very mighty. Nothing will catch you off guard, right? Your vision will be crazy, right? Nobody can get you under the table. Nobody can snake you. None of that, man. You on fire and strictly about the Lord's business, right? It says, for he that has suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin, because the Lord was in the flesh as well, and he dealt with the same things as we dealt with, right? Anxiety, not anxiety, but stress. Hey, there's somebody out here that's stressing right now and giving stress a win, man. Having stress just win every round, every battle, man. That's crazy, right? Yes, we know we're gonna go hard and it's true, but we gotta have the same mind as Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai dealt with worse than us. Our forefathers dealt with worse than us. Look at Job, man. Job was going through it, man. David was going through it. David encouraged himself in the Lord, right? Judas encouraged himself in the Lord. Simon, right? Moses. I mean, we could go on. We can go on. Noah, having a whole world against you, right? Let's get Psalms. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Revelations. Shalakia. Revelation. I think I might want Shalakia. I probably want 3. Shalakia. This probably is 19. Yep, 19. Right. This Revelation chapter 19, verse 11 says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful, True, in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. Right? Hey, Yahweh Shai is coming to make war, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, hey, he is a man of war. Our Heavenly Father is a man of war, right? Yahweh Shai is a man of war. So what you expect out of us that brought us in his truth? We're soldiers of the Lord. So he expect you to fight. He didn't expect you to just fall upon your own sword. He didn't expect you to just get demolished, man. The Lord is coming to make war, man. Right? I'm gonna jump down I'm gonna read on. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. Hey, his vesture was dipped in blood, man. Your vesture should be dipped in blood through the Spirit, right? Because you steady casting down the old man. You steady casting down new spirits that come. Because the more you increase, the more these demons increase, man. And that's more blood on your vesture when you continue to slay him with the words of the Lord, man. Continually fasting, praying, you hitting up a brother, you getting counsel. Hey, these demons get slayed, man. Right? Just for people out there that think that Yahweh Shai is coming to send peace. Peace ain't been here in a long, well, I don't know how many years peace hasn't been here. We've been going through it for over 500 years, 400 years, man. There's no peace on this place. Everything's defiled, right? Nobody's in order. We have no law. They say we have laws, but we don't abide. We don't abide to them. We definitely don't abide to the law of the Most High. Right? There's no peace here, man. There's no peace at your job. It's nothing. So what makes you think Yahweh Shai is going to come here and bring peace when there's no peace here? Right? There was no peace when he was there. Right? Let's get Psalms 42, verse 1. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O Yahweh. My soul thirsteth for Yahweh, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? Right? I'm going to jump down to verse 4. It says, when I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, and with the voice of joy and praise with a multitude that kept a holy day. Right, verse 5 is the point. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in Yahweh. Hey, this was David saying to himself, man. He said, why am I cast down? I mean, you got to ask yourself, like, why I'm so cast, why I'm so low? When the Lord said, hey, you abide in him, you have peace. All ye that are heavy laden, heavy burden, hey, come to Yahweh Shai, man. He said, come to me, roughly paraphrasing. David in his mind saying, yo, why is you cast down? You dealing with this spirit. Why are you so low? You have somebody to call upon that's going to fight for you. Renown, hope thou in Yahweh, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. He said, oh my God, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan and from the Hermonites, Salakia, from the hill Mizar. Hey, he said, I will remember thee, man. If you going through it and all the things, you going through affliction and, you getting plagued and things of that manner. Hey, you got to remember the Lord, man. Your strength is that your joy is strength, man. You got to remember the Lord, be able to fight these battles. Because if you don't, hey, these demons going to overtake you, man. This place is going to overtake you. One, the Lord is teach you how to endure. I mean, you wouldn't even have endurance. We ain't even been through nothing yet, right? There's more evils to come. So the Lord is building you up so you'll be able to endure. He doesn't have to do that, right? Let me get that. All right, Matthew. Not Matthew, 1 Peter. Because the Lord is teaching us how to war like he taught David and our mighty forefathers, man. Right? 1 Peter. All right. Like you. All right, 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse, right, 5. It says, besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, into virtue knowledge, into knowledge temperance, into temperance patience, right? So as you going through these things, you going to war, the Lord is teaching you patience, endurance, right? It says into patience, godliness, right? Hey, David was enduring through that when he was running from Saul, when Absalom tried to take the kingdom from him. Hey, he had patience. He had endurance. I mean, without war, how would you even know how to be a man? A lot of Jakes would be feminine, which they are now, because they don't even know how to war. They think they do. Just because they got a tool and a blunt and a gold chain and a ski mask and think they actually know how to go to war, but they really don't. They don't even know how to fight themselves, right? But the Lord is teaching you how to endure. Because when all hell break loose, the lights shut off, famine, civil war, when all these things happen, man, and you didn't learn anything that the things that you didn't learn anything in the scriptures, you didn't learn nothing from the situations you've been in, you're gonna get caught out there, right? But you got it.
Salaki, I was having major connection issues earlier. You know what I'm saying? Satan was on his job. But like the brother was saying, man, you got to know how to fight yourself also, right? So I'm going to read this in Psalms chapter 20 and verse number 7. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get this verse in Ephesians. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. That's what I want. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. So the weapons of our warfare is not, a switch can't help you out of, when a demon is attacking you. When that adultery demon come and plague you. When that demon that make you want to hate your brother for something or make you want to hold a grudge. There's no weapon. There's no a machete can't help you out of that situation, right? It's a spiritual enemy. It got to be fought with a spiritual weapon. And Paul went into that very, very deep in Ephesians chapter 6. I want to get that. It's Ephesians chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And he's going to tell you why he's saying this. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. A lot of times when you think that a certain person is your enemy, it's really not that person. It's just the spirit that's on that person. The weapons, like we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Like the brother was talking about, your wife might have a spirit on her. Hey, when your wife is being rebellious, she might not really want to be. It's the same way with you. When you being rebellious against the Most High, you don't really want to do that. It's just plaguing you. Whatever you want is plaguing you so bad. You like, God, I know I ain't supposed to do this. I'm trying to fight it, but man, it's pulling me this way, and I'm trying to go. It's pulling me left. I'm trying to go right. Everybody, we all go through it. None of us is exempt. We all in this flesh, especially as men. We know what we go through, man. So you got to remember that what you fighting against is not a flesh and blood. There's you can't deal with it the way that flesh and blood would deal with it. You got to deal with it spiritually. Let's see how Christ dealt with it. This Matthew chapter 4, in verse number 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. So, hey, these demons gonna come and they gonna test you. Oh, you think you one of the prophets of God, huh? If you all that, then perform this certain miracle. And your miracle that they might tempt you to try to do is, hey, if you so mighty, give out this prophecy. If you so mighty, hey, go start your own camp. You supposed to be the leader then. It might plague your mind and won't get the preeminence. It might play, hey, what you think happened to Korah in the wilderness? That demon got to him. He's like, man, who do Moses think I'm Korah. I know I can be twice the leader that Moses is. Hey, that demon can do that to you. But let's see how Christ made sure that didn't happen to him. It's Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. He fought back with the scriptures. And this is a cut to all you Christians who don't like to read the Old Testament. Why is Christ directly quoting Deuteronomy chapter 8? If we're not supposed to read the Old Testament, if the Old Testament is done away with. Why is your Lord and Savior in red letter quoting Deuteronomy chapter 8? Let's get the precept. We want the answers. Hey, we going to war right now with the scriptures. We going to war with the Christians on this false doctrine that they keep putting out about the Lord not being a man of war and he's just kumbaya. He just want to rub people's back and give them hugs. No, it's real war that he set up for us to have to fight. This is Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse number 3. This is in the law of Moses that they say is done away with. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man does not live by bread alone, or by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. Why is Christ directly quoting that? Right? So when it comes to even when you fight back with the scriptures, a lot of times you're gonna be fighting back with other people who think they got the scriptures too. It say in the Bible that even the devils know him. Let's go to that in James. You know, it's not only the people that's trying to be righteous that know the scriptures. It's not just us, right? Let's find this in the book of James, chapter, I believe that's chapter 2. Brothers know that precept in James. You know that precept from my wall.
What it say?
It's talking about even the devils know the Lord.
Con.
I got it. This book of James, chapter 2 and verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. Hey, even the devils believe in God. They know what's going on in the Bible. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 4 and prove that. Matthew chapter 4 and verse number 5. And then the devil, this is right after the Lord just quoted Deuteronomy 8. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Hey, why is Satan quoting the Bible back at Christ? If we the only ones with the word, we the only ones who believe in God. Satan believe in God too. He take direct orders from him. You read Job chapter 2, you will look, hey, even Satan believes in God. Not only does he believe in him, he works for him. Right? We have to really understand these things. When we get tempted, it's inevitable. You have to get tempted. It just is what it is. Let's go to Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. The classic. We get it almost every video, but hey, it's a classic for a reason. This is just what it is. It's annoying. Hey, I hate getting tempted. I be so sick of it. Sometimes I get real like frustrated. Like I don't even feel like dealing with temptation right now. I'm tired. I just got off work. I don't feel like getting tempted right now. And guess what Satan will do? Tempt me anyway. All of us go through it. You could be having the worst day possible. You busted a tire. You almost went to jail for no reason. And then, hey, here comes Satan tempting you. That's it. Hey, it's the condition of the battle. We gotta be tempted. This Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. He said, prepare your soul. The deepest parts of you got to be ready to get tempted. And the thing about Satan is he know exactly what you like. You know, some brothers don't deal with the lust demon, the sexual lust demon. So Satan can't tempt you with that. You might be dealing with covetousness. You might be one of them brothers that's just envious. Like you just got an evil eye. That's just how you was taught. You might be a brother that can't let go of grudges. You just hold grudges, man. You be hating brothers. Hey, Satan might tempt you with that. You know, so you got to know what's really what's good for you and what's not. I got this last precept in there, brothers got it. All right, this is the last precept I got down. This is Sirach chapter 37, verse 27. My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. So you got to know what's the for certain brothers, alcohol ain't good for them. It's not a sin, but guess what? That alcohol kind of make them do things that they don't really want to do. It's unprofitable for them. That brother don't need alcohol. Certain brothers, I believe, Shamal Wall is one of those brothers. Hey, he don't like social media like that because it's not profitable for him. You know, I know a couple brothers like that. They not messing with Instagram or Twitter, none of that, because it's unprofitable. Certain brothers, hey, they don't like being online at all. They just they do their thing offline because that's what's profitable for them. Certain brothers, hey, they can't deal with having a wife. It's not profitable for them. Certain brothers are not meant to be husbands. Hey, Paul was perfectly fine with being single, bro. Ain't no sin in that. You got to be honest with yourself. I'm gonna read this verse again, and then brothers got it. Sirach 37 and 27. My son, prove thy soul and thy life. You got to do that yourself. I can't tell you what's not profitable for you. You know what's bad for you. You know what happens every time you get in that bad situation. You know the process. You know, okay, I know if I have a bad day, it's going to lead me to that cigarette. So when I had this bad day, I got to be ready to be tempted by that demon that's going to tell me the only way to make my bad day better is this cigarette or this nasty website, you know, or this other man's wife or this pork, you know, or breaking the Sabbath. Whatever it is for you, you got to know, okay, you got to prepare your soul to be tempted, like it says Sirach in 2:1, because it's going to come. But I yield with that.
Con. Right, just kind of letting back off what the brother was going into. Right, hey, everything that we going through, hey, it's small, right, compared to the prophecies that's going to kick off in the earth, famine, pestilence, tribulation, right, men breaking in your house, right, martial law, right, hey, these things are small, right? This is Romans chapter 8, verse 18, and it reads, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." Hey, Paul said, hey, it's not even worthy. You can't even compare it to the glory that's going to be revealed in us, right? The crowns, right? Everlasting life, the kingdom, right? The promised land, right? Ruling, right? Riches, right? Everything that is promised to us, right? Hey, you can't compare that to this place, right? Like the brother was saying, right? Hey, this place isn't our rest, right? So you can't just put down the sword. You can't just throw in the towel. You can't just give up, right? Hey, these things are minuscule. They're small, right? And if you had that understand, if you had that mindset, that's going to propel you to truly believe that, okay, I can get past this, right? Because, hey, the kingdom is before me, right? We got to take hold of it. That's Daniel, the 12th chapter, right? Hey, everything that I'm going through, these mountains, I can overcome. I can cast them away, right? Hey, that's the mindset that you have to have, right? This is James chapter 1. I'll start at verse 12. Right? It says, "Blessed is the man that endure temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord hath promised to them that love him." Right? Hey, so we're going to go through that fire, right? You're going to get tempted. It's not one day that's going to pass you by where you won't be tempted, where you won't meet a demon. All you can do is just get stronger. All you can do is grow, right? If you're not growing in this truth, I mean, I don't know how you're going to fare well, because Satan is just going to keep coming, just keep attacking with the same demon, with the same lust, with the same drunken spirit, with the same anything, man, right? You're going to go through tribulation. You're going to go through hard times. It's inevitable. If you're in this truth, if you're watching this video, if you know the Lord, if you're an Israelite, guess what? You're not going to have an easy life, right? We're cursed, right? That's Deuteronomy 28 and 15, right? That's why we in America today, right? Because we don't follow this word, right? Our people don't know this, right? But that's why we got to bring this out to remind our people that, hey, they can come out from the hard times that they're going through, right? They can prevail, right? There is hope, right? You just got to work for it. Like the brother brought out, hey, Jacob, he had to wrestle. He had to fight for his title. He had to fight for his name, right? We got to do the same thing, right? Let me get Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 5. It says, "The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is in his reasoning." Right? So when you in that fire, hey, your mind is being tested, right? You're literally being put in a fire to see how you're gonna deal with it. Are you gonna, it's too hot, right? Are you gonna tap out? Right? Like WWE, man, they get put in a chokehold, right? They try to grab the rope, they tap out, right? Hey, you put in a fire, the Lord seeing if you're gonna tap out. The Lord seeing if you worthy. the Lord is seeing if you can attain these things, if you can fight, if you can overcome. The Lord want to see that dog in you, right? If you just going, I can't do it. Hey, the Lord, he's not dealing with that, right? Like Yahushua, he didn't do that. Yahushua, he wasn't, I don't know if I can do this, right? And if the Lord was down, what did he do? He prayed to the Most High. Nevertheless, let thine will be done, right? That's the same mindset that we had to have, right? Nevertheless, let your will be done, right? The Lord, he can get me through this, right? All praises to the Most High, right? Whether good or evil, right? Let me read that again. It says, the furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is in his reasoning. Right. So how are you thinking when your back is against the wall? Right. What is your mindset like? Is it man, I might as well go. Man, hit up my plug, man. I'm stressed out. Right. Let me go hit up old girl. I'm finna go over her crib tonight. Right. Right. Let me see what's popping, man. Let me see what's hot around town. Right. What is your mindset when you catching hell? Right. What if Job would have listened to his woman? What if Job would have been like, she is right. Right, I lost everything. My life is completely destroyed. I'm ruined. Right, there's no hope for me. Hey, I mean, if brothers was going through what Job would have went through, I wonder how many brothers would actually still believe in the Lord. I wonder how many brothers would actually continue to hold their integrity. How many brothers is really going to be 10 toes down for the name of Yahushua? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Right, let me get Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 10. Right, this is Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 10. It says, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in a furnace of affliction. Right, hey, the Lord, he chose us for the furnace of affliction. Right, you got to catch hell. This is what you signed up for. You signed up to see if you signed up to measure how strong you are. Put it like that. Right, how strong can you take this? Right, can you drink of that cup? Hey, you gotta drink of that cup like the Lord did. Right, let me get that real fast. In Matthew the 20th chapter. Right. Hey, the Lord, he went through hell. He went through affliction. Right. Let me get that real fast. Right, Matthew chapter 20. And I start at verse 20. It says, then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children, with her sons worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, what wilt thou? She said unto him, grant that these two my sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on the left in thy kingdom. Hey, so you might be in this truth, right, for multiple wives, right? You might be in this truth for vain reasons, multiple wives, right? Views, clout, right? Whatever it is, man, right? Your own interior motives, right, could be the only reason that you're in this truth for, right? You don't know exactly what you're signing up for, right? You want a high position. You gotta count the cost. You gotta know what comes with that. It reads, but Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask, right? And a lot of brothers, right, they don't know what they in this thing for. They don't know what they signing up for, right? This is real. This is life or death, like Moses said, right? Choose ye life that ye may live. Right? And every day you got to ask yourself that, right? Am I going to live today or I'm going to die? Am I going to go back to sin? Right? Am I going to go back to the old man? Right? You got to remind yourself these things each and every day. Again, Satan, he on the clock 24/8. He don't take breaks. He don't get tired. He don't get restless. Right? It reads, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of? And to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They said unto him, we are able. Hey, so, hey, you got to have that same, hey, we are able. Right, I'm going to drink of the cup. Right, we got the Passover coming up. Hey, brothers got to have that same mindset. Or I am able. Right, I'm able to go into this thing. I'm able to be a part of the Lord's body. I'm able to overcome these things. Right? It says, they said unto him, we are able. And he said unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup. Right? He said, you shall drink indeed of my cup. Right? It's not maybe. Right? You're just going to get a little. And you got to drink all of it. It says, ye shall indeed drink of my, it's like you shall drink indeed of my cup and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. Right? So, hey, everything, positions, right, whatever you get in this life, right, hey, it's all up to the Most High at the end of the day. You just got to make sure that you do your part and drink of that cup. You just got to do your part and make sure that you in this word, that you girding yourself with this word, that you in these precepts, that you fighting. You got to do your part, and the Most High, he going to do his part. Draw nigh unto the Most High, and he going to draw nigh unto you. Right? I want to, it's like I lost the precept that I had in mind. Right? Lord willing, come back to me. My brother's got it.
The brother bringing Almighty, man. You got to drink that whole cup, man. Ain't no half of it. Ain't no sips. Ain't no babysitting, man. Brothers be so mighty to take shots all the damn time. You know, drink that cup of the Lord, man. All right. So I'm gonna get Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 40. Right, it reads, "O my people, hear my word." Right, make you ready to the battle. So you got to be ready, man. Ain't no just putting on you just getting you don't know where your sword at. You're looking for your sword and you don't know where your girdle is. Hey, the Lord had a girdle on him at all times. He knew it was war. People was out there to kill him, right? So he had a girdle on at all times. It said, make you ready to the battle. You always got to be ready, man. Every day you're going to get tempted. If it's not physically, it's going to be in your mind. Satan is going to play your mind all day. Yes, it may be annoying, but hey, that's what it is, man. You got to deal with it, right? Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Hey, because it's going to be a time where you're not going to have a brotherhood. You're going to be pilgrims, roaming the earth, running away from Esau, trying to find somewhere to dwell at. They trying to kill us, man. Hey, that's going to be going on. So we all going to war. That's why the Lord said, gather together. Because, hey, a brother may sharpen your sword, man. Let's get the Proverbs. Because ain't no one-on-ones, man. There's a host on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Satan doesn't come by himself. Satan doesn't come with just one or two or three spears with him, man. He comes with his legions coming, man. And the Lord on the right-hand side, hey, he has a host of angels on the right-hand side for you, man. There's no one-on-ones. So as you going to battle, your brother is going to battle. Two is better than one, right? Proverbs chapter 27. All right. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, right? Hey, another brother can sharpen your iron and sharpen your sword, man. You thought it was sharp enough, but once a brother come, hey, he sharpen it for you, man. Hey, this the precept you need to go to. Oh, you dealing with this, bro? You might as well just give it up, bro. Leave it alone. Hey, that's your sword being sharpened. Next thing you know, you be in that same situation. Hey, you will slice it with one slice, man. Cut it, hewing them down like Agag, man. Easy, right? Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend, right? Hey, the Lord say two better than one, man. So you going through war, hey, best believe your brother is going through war as well. In the battlefield, a soldier is not going to leave a soldier wounded. You have to go get your soldier, man. If he get damn popped, he not finna just leave him on the ground. You're going to have other soldiers in guerrilla mode shooting While that one soldier is getting that soldier that's down on the ground, he got the aid kit, and he getting it together. But brothers that play games, an old classic game, Army or two, you're not finna he down. You're not finna just leave him. You got to go and pick him up, man. He broke a bone or whatever, something, numb the pain, bandage it up, get it right. Hey, y'all back moving now. Y'all got a mission to complete. We got a kingdom to reach, right? So this 2 Kings chapter 6, I'm gonna start at verse 15, because don't think that you fighting alone. Don't think that you fighting alone. There's angels that you cannot see, right? Then you have brothers as well. Gotta use your brothers, man, in righteousness. Gotta say that, right? This 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 15. And when the servant of the man of God was rising early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. So, hey, just imagine, man. It's more than it's more angels than these heathens, man. Right? Let's jump down to verse 17. It says, And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha, man. And he opened his eyes so he can see. He prayed unto the Lord, and how so the Most High can open his servant's eyes, man. And he saw the chariots of fire, man, round about Elisha. So you battling against a demon, whatever it is, you and your rib, your family going through it, your brothers going through it. Hey, it's a host of angels that's protecting you, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And ultimately through the Spirit, hey, the Lord opened our eyes, because we didn't know there was a hope. We didn't know that the Lord created angels on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Brothers thought demons just came about, and the Lord was just like, oh, it's demons. I'm going to protect you. Like, no, that's wow. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know that. Now our eyes open, and we know that, hey, it's more angels than these other heathens, than what we battle, man. Because there's no one-on-ones. You got to remember that. So if you're in war and you down, hit up a soldier so that brother can lift you up, man. Don't just keep getting cut and hewn down, and now you talking about Satan got the best of me. Stop saying that. Stop giving credit to these demons. Stop giving credit to these heathens, man. You letting Esau devices just take control of you, man. Let's get Proverbs. Because the Lord didn't choose you for no reason. The Lord not just choosing anybody. The Lord, it's been set in stone since the foundation of the world. Before the world was created, the Lord knew who his soldiers was, right? Let me get that before that escape my mind, man. Then I'm gonna escape my mind, right? Let's get that. Then I escape my mind. The Lord already knew who that was. I'm just going to Jeremiah, Lord willing, they'll come back, right? Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. It's Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. It says, Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. The Lord knew you before he formed you in the belly. He knew Jeremiah, man. The Lord knows you can deal with these things. The Lord not going to give you something that you can't handle. So for you to not handle it, that's madness. And all praise to the Most High, the precept came back to mind, but we're going to keep reading on this. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. The Lord knew who you was. The Lord knew you could deal with that anger demon. The Lord knew you could deal with that lust demon. The Lord knew you could deal with that food demon, cigarettes and weed and clubs and strip clubs, all these, the ways of the world. The Lord knew you can deal with it. The Lord knew Yahweh Shah can deal with those things. And what happened? Hey, he dealt with it. He saved Israel, right? so as we can have a chance to get the kingdom. And he's going to deliver us, most high willing. But the Lord knew you can do these things, right? Read on, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. The Lord knew you could deal with these things, man. This is a cut for you to say you fell short, but you really fell willfully. Examine yourself, because a lot of people use that "I'll fall short" a lot, but you knew that you're not supposed to do it. And you repenting every single time for the same thing every time. That got to be vexing. You look in the mirror and say, man, I fell short again. Why you lying? Why are you deceiving yourself like that? Right? Let's go to Proverbs. So the Lord don't choose just anybody. The Lord knew who you was before you was formed in the womb. He created you, right? And as a soldier, you have to have discipline. The Lord commanded you to have rule over your spirit. Soldiers have rule over their spirit, man. They work out every day. Well, they got like a training schedule. They got to wake up early in the morning. They got to do probably like 1,000 push-ups, sit-ups. They got to jog in the morning, jog in the morning, evening, night, however they do it. They got a schedule. They have a rule over their spirit. They go to range practice. They damn accuracy is impeccable. Hey, that's how we got to be through the spirit, right? This Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28, it says, he that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Why would you want to be a city that is broken down for you not having rule over your spirit to a demon that's, the Lord says, is light affliction? Yes, we in the flesh, we're going to deal with these things, but it's light. It's light compared to what we're going to go through. So you being a soldier of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you not having rule over your spirit, the Lord sees that. And we all got to take account of this. You're not going to see a soldier that's going to continuously get popped by the same these heathen armies, man. Just these people who damn playing these video games, man. Every time you get spawned, you get popped by the same dude. You get shot by the same dude. That's not going to happen every single time. That's how you got to imagine yourself when you fight against these spirits. You're going to let a demon keep striking you through every time. I'm going to read that again. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And in the ancient world, when that city is broken down and without walls, what happens? The heathen just go all through your city and spoil you, man. Took all your goods, took all your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all your spiritual riches, and spent it riotously, man, because you had no rule of your spirit, right? You just saying, oh, I'm cool. I can't do this no more. You're not saying that, but that's what you're saying through the spirit. I can't deal with it because it's getting too hot. When the Lord told you what it was going to be like, right? All praise to the Most High, right? I'm going to go to Luke. I'm going to go to Luke chapter 1, verse 37. And verse, right? This Luke chapter 1, verse 37. It says, for with God, nothing shall be impossible. Nothing is impossible with the Lord. Nothing is impossible. He knew who you was. He knew what he cast upon you. He knew you could deal with it. Nothing is impossible. And then on top of that, it's a cheat code, man. You could call upon him. You literally serve a God that created everything from good to evil. And it's a cheat code for him. He made it. You call upon him, he take it away. How beautiful is that? And I know brothers and sisters dealt with it. You dealing with a spirit. You was able to have strength to stop what you're doing and pray to the Lord, and it went away. How mighty is that? For with God, nothing shall be impossible, right? It's not impossible for the Lord for you to win that battle, win this war, man. This is going to be this is a long war. You may lose a battle. You may lose a round, But hey, you're not gonna lose the war if you continue to fight, man. What you got, Doc?
Con, like the brother.
Khan Salaki. Oh, you had some good eye one?
I was just gonna bring a few more out, but if you got it.
No, you got it. I was gonna close it up. I'll close it out if you done.
Con, right? Like the brother was saying, right? Hey, this is war, right? This is what we signed up for, right? And again, we gotta have that same mind, right? This is First Timothy chapter 4 and verse 17. It reads, "Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me and strengthened me." Right? So, hey, the Lord, like the brother said, you're gonna call upon the name of the Lord. That's like a cheat code, right? And the Lord is gonna be by your side. It reads, let me read that again. It says, "Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me and strengthened me, that by me the preaching might be fully known, and that all the Gentiles might hear. And I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion." Right? So, hey, you're gonna be delivered from your troubles. You're gonna be delivered from the things that's plaguing you, right? Things that's going on in your life, right? Heaviness, right? Hey, like the scriptures say. Let me get that real fast. In First Timothy, it's like not First Timothy, First Peter, right? First Peter, right? Chapter 1 and verse 6. It reads, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations." Right? So you might be going through it, man. Catching hell. You wake up, your car break down. You got no way to get to work. Right? If you miss one more day, he gonna fire you. Right? Your mind is racing. Right? All hell is breaking loose. It reads that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? So, hey, the things that you do to beseech the Lord, right? Your faith and believing that you can't overcome, that you can get past these things. Guess what? Those things are more precious than gold that perish. Right? And gold, hey, that's not a cheap material. Gold is a precious stone. Right? Like the statue in Daniel, in the book of Daniel, right? The head of Nebuchadnezzar, right? It was a head of gold, right? His kingdom was a great kingdom, right? Your faith is better than that. Your faith is better than everything that he had, right? And everything was under his authority, right? But it says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than a gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor at the glory in the appearing of Yahushua HaMashiach. Right? It says, "Whom having not seen ye love." Right? We haven't seen the Lord face to face, but we're in this truth. Right? We didn't see the miracles that the Lord did. We didn't see the Lord physically crucified. We didn't hear the words, but hey, our spirit bear witness. It reads, "In whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls." Right? And that's the end all be all. Right? It's us being saved, us being delivered from this place. That's what we see. Right? Let me get let me go to the book of Deuteronomy, right, chapter 20. And we could close out. This is Deuteronomy chapter 20. I'll start at verse 3. Deuteronomy 20 and 3. "And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them." Right? Don't faint. Right? It reads, it's like verse 4. "For the Lord your God, he is he." It's like, "For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you. Right? So the Most High, he's going to be with you, Bashim Yahushai, to help you fight and overcome these things. Right? Like it says in, I believe 1 Corinthians chapter 10, right? There's no temptation that is taking you. But such is common to men, for the Most High is faithful and will not allow you to be, it's like not allow you to suffer upon that which you are able, but with the temptation maketh the way to escape, paraphrasing. Right? So the Most High, he's going to literally be with you. Right? It is he that goeth to fight against your enemies. Right? Don't faint. Don't be terrified. Don't tremble. Right? Call upon the name of the Lord. Right? And with that, I yield.
Hey, before we close out, I just want to say shalom to everybody that was that was tuned in live with us. You know, we got the brother Dion, we got the mighty Elder Ray, we got the brother son of Jacob, house of Judah, Yazian, David, Yehuda, Israel. We got Azza. You know, people is really tuning in these last days, really paying attention to what's going on. And all praise to the Most High for that. You know, scriptures say we labor not for ourselves, but all those that seek learning. These are the people that we making these videos for. So all praise to the Most High that y'all tuning in. Hey, stay tuned in, man. Stay up to date, stay focused, stay watching, man. It's so easy to fall to the wayside, especially in this Passover season. We got Passover coming up in what brother say, like 9-10 days, maybe? Passover coming up. Hey, that's next week, Friday night. So, hey, we got to get right, man. It's not too late to get on these fasts. It's not too late to start praying more. It's not too late to just put away whatever you know you're struggling with, man. Just get it together. Right. But with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai for another mighty video through the Spirit. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.